Hello! Hey friends! Hey friends, how you doing? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Cody, and today we're going to talk about 10 more culture shocks about the Czech Republic. This is part 2 of culture shocks from an Australian New Zealand person. It's a beautiful day in the Czech Republic. Now, a lot of people ask me when I come here, what are you doing here? So this is 10 things that I think are a little bit different to back home. Follow me. Oh, I broke something. So a big thing for me is, who hogs the blanket at night time? Do you know someone who hogs the blanket? Or are you the person who hogs the blanket? Well, the Czech Republic, in most households, have found a solution to this, but certainly a lot of families have this kind of system here. They have 2 single-sized blankets, one for each person, and there is never any problem with anybody ever stealing a blanket again. Look at it. It's like the complete match made in heaven. Why don't they have 2 blankets in every single bed? They've just solved one of the world's biggest problems right here. So I suggest to you, adopt the 2 blanket system, and there'll never be any fights in the bedroom ever again. Well, unless you want them. You bitch! Let's go to part 2.
Warning. What you're about to see is completely fictional, and the characters are paid actors. Any resemblance to real life is purely coincidental.
Hey, come on in. Sit down. Okay. Would you like a coffee? Yeah, coffee would be awesome. Thank you. I'll get that for you. I'll just have it with milk. No sugar. I'm on a diet. Just milk. You're on a diet. Nice one, buddy. Subscribe! So for me, a bit of a culture shock is a lot of Czech families use long life milk. And that might sound weird if you're Czech because it might be a normal part of your household. But in Australia, we have fresh milk. This stuff we would never use. So I thought that was a little bit of a weird culture shock. It doesn't taste that bad, but you know, in Australia we would never use this milk. Let's go to the next part. Okay, I'm leaving! Je number 2 parts. This is off. Third culture shock for me is, never wear your shoes into a Czech person's house. That is their palace, that is their throne, that is their perfect heavenly little space, and you will not take your dirty shoes into their house. In Australia, walk into their house, no problem. But with Czech houses, it's a big no-no. And normally they will have little sandals or shoes for you to put on to wear inside. Kind of like inside slippers or inside sandals. Completely strange. That's one thing I don't like. I understand that it is wet in winter and obviously the shoe's gonna be wet. But you know, in the summer, I see no problem whatsoever with it. I don't know, maybe the cultures are just too different. I just have to take my shoes off. I just have to take my shoes off. It's also very common in the Czech Republic to have unlabeled bottles of alcohol, which might not sound so strange for you if you live in the Czech Republic. But if someone was to hand you an unlabeled bottle of alcohol in Australia, they would probably think it's poison. But this is going to lead to the next part of the culture shock of living in the Czech Republic. Cheersing. So when it comes to cheersing in the Czech Republic, it is pretty much just the same as cheersing in any old bar with any old friend. But there is a specific rule you must follow when cheersing. In the Czech Republic they say na zdraví, which is kind of like good health, And you'll typically only say it like once to a person. But the secret is, my friends, the secret is, when you have a shot, you must cheers the glass, maintain eye contact, and say na zdraví. Ah. Tapiště. If you aren't going to look someone in the eye, I think you can't be trusted, and you're also going to be called a bad name. Which, if you're from an English background, it rhymes with Aunt Flies. I'll let you figure that out. I should add there, cheersing in Australia is much different. You know, we just cheers, 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 cheers. 1 beer, 2 beers, 3 beers, cheers, cheers, cheers. And you know, the whole eye contact thing really doesn't have that much to do with anything. It's more kind of a celebration of having a new beer in Australia. So I think that's just a little bit of difference. I love it, it's really cool. Always got to maintain the eye contact. Yeah, see that? Don't get too uncomfortable. Is that upside down? Oh. If you haven't subscribed, it'll mean the world to me if you would. Let's go to the next one. It really is beautiful today. Like, you know, winter has gone and spring is on its way in. So it's a beautiful time of the year. I'm actually going to Australia for 3 months. So if you have anything you want to know about Australia, any culture differences, any types of food you want to see, then let me know in the comments, because I'm going to be there for 3 months and I want you to know as much as you want to know about Australia. I'm just going to do Australian content, but I'm going to give it a little Czech twist. So I might even try give some Czech food to my family and try cook some Czech food for my friends, even try find a Czech restaurant. Who knows how it's going to turn out, but I'm excited and I hope you're going to come with me on the journey and learn some new stuff. Let's go to the next culture shock. Another culture shock you're going to see when you're in the Czech Republic is a lot of the older people will use like hiking sticks to walk around, or like crutches. Seeing people walking around with sticks and not being on a mountain or not being in the snow is kind of weird for me. But I also think in Australia there is a lot more mobility scooters. Thanks for watching! And a lot less of these sticks. A little difference. But when you first see people with these sticks and they're not on a mountain, it's like, the mountain's that way, bro. So I've been living here for like a year and a bit, and I have found something very strange about Czech households, right? The shower head is never stuck to the wall, and it's always next to the tap. So I think a lot of Czech people have baths, whereas in Australia, the shower head is always stuck to the wall. And I just can't get my head around having to sit in the bath and shower myself with the nozzle. In Australia we have them stuck on the wall, and they also come off the wall, but they're always higher up. Or they're always just stuck onto the wall. Like, I don't understand why you want to sit in the bath every day. And a few of my Czech friends have always said that it's weird that the shower head is stuck on the wall. It's a big culture difference for me. Well, maybe not a culture difference, but it's just strange. Czech people tell the time in 24 hours. Whereas in Australia we tell it in 12-hour time. If someone was to tell you in 24-hour time in Australia, you probably would think they were in the army or something where they use the 24-hour time. But normally in Australia we use 12-hour time, so it's really confusing for me to try and think of the time when somebody says 13 and they mean 1 o'clock. You know what I mean? Yeah. And also when we're talking about time, Czech people, instead of saying 12:30, they say 1:30. So it's just like the opposite. That's not too bad of culture shock, but it takes a little bit of getting used to when you ask somebody the time, because it can be confusing thinking that it's going to be 1 o'clock. Whoa, it's the same.
Whoa, it's the same. It can be confusing. Whoa, it's the same.
It can be confusing.
I don't know. I'm still trying to get my head around it. Give me a little bit more time, my friends. We'll get there in the end. And one of my last points is that Czech people love kofola, which is like the Czech equivalent of Coca-Cola. But it doesn't taste like Coca-Cola. It's completely different. Kind of tastes like Coca-Cola. If Coca-Cola met Christmas every day of the year, that's what kofola would taste like. It's delicious, it's sweet, but when you first try it, it's a completely different taste to anything you've tried before. I'm gonna take some kofola to Australia and get my family to taste it and see what they think about it. But I'm telling you now, I'm not sure if they're gonna like it very much. Big culture shock of living in a small village is at 6 p.m. every day there is music coming from this speaker on many speakers around the village, and they just update you on the news in the village, just the village, and if any deaths happen in the village. So it's completely crazy. And every month they have like a testing, so they have like a fire alarm on, so it can be very scary when you first come to the village life, but you kind of get used to it.
Pro rodiny pracovníků z Ukrajiny přicházejících do našeho města. Aktuálně jsou třeba ručníky, dětské oblečení, kuchyňské nádoby, trvanlivé potraviny.
Subscribe! Okay friends, that is going to end my video for today. I hope you learned something. If you think that I've said something wrong, leave something in the comments or just come and say hello. I will be in Australia next week, so we're going to do some Australian content. Let me know what you want to see, because I will make that happen for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and make sure you subscribe, because, you know, I got more content to come. Okay friends, goodbye. Ciao for now. See you next time. Uvidíme se příště.